Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're going to be talking about a subclass of the fighter, straight out of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, the Psi Warrior. Psi Warriors are often referred to by those in the DnD community as the Jedi, because they are still fighters with all the martial prowess, but they carry quite a bit of telekinetic power. They're psionic energy dice. Right away at 3rd level, when you choose the subclass, you get a pool of psionic energy dice, which power your abilities. These are d6s at the beginning, and they scale as you level up. And you get quite a few of them, twice your proficiency bonus. So you start off right away with 4, and they scale quite nicely throughout your career. You get to use them initially on the psionic power abilities, and there's 3 of them. First of all, you can increase your damage whenever you hit with a weapon. Any weapon. When you hit with the attack, you spend the psionic energy dice and do extra force damage. You can also, as a reaction, reduce incoming damage to yourself or an ally within 30 feet, again equal to a roll of the dice. Or you can use the psionic energy die to move things. You can either move willing creatures, large or smaller objects, about 30 feet. Doing so takes your psionic energy dice to do it. These powers are also fueled by your intelligence modifier, and that's actually a tricky sell. Fighters love to stick with their constitution and either strength or dex, depending on what kind of fighter you are. So intelligence makes you quite multiple ability score dependent. So these powers are okay. Extra damage, reduced damage, movement of objects and friendlies. I give this power an 8 out of 10. It's unfortunate that it is boosted by your intelligence and not your strength or your dexterity or your constitution, but whatever. It's still a pretty good power to add all these things. Then at level 7, you get Telekinetic Adept. This gives you more things you can do with your psionic energy dice. You can either use one to grant yourself a flying speed for your turn. It's called a Psionic Leap, I believe. Basically, it's a super jump. It lets you jump with a flying speed. Not bad. You also, though, get to push enemies now, instead of just moving your allies with a telekinetic thrust. It still is based on your weapon attacks, because it only works with the psionic strike power that you got originally. But when you do it, you can also push enemies, either prone or 10 feet in any direction. This is handy if you're a ranged combatant. It just allows you to move enemies around on the battlefield against a saving throw. This is a little bit more useful as far as combat goes, more maneuverability and battlefield control instead of just flat damage. I give this a 9 out of 10. At level 10, you get a resistance to psychic damage with the Guarded Mind feature. And you can use your psionic energy dice to end charm or frightened conditions on yourself. So it's still using your dice. So this is running into a similar problem that the monk has, where their key points power everything. Well, the psionic energy dice power everything. But these are still really effective powers, and the resistance to psychic damage is there all the time. So another 9 out of 10 for Guarded Mind. Then at level 15, you get the Bulwark of Force. This is a bonus action ability that lasts for 1 minute. You can target your party around you, and anyone within 30 feet of you that you want, and give them half cover, which is just a fancy way of saying raising their AC by 2. So it's an AC boost for the whole party, and that's actually really nice. You can do it once for free, and then you have to spend your psionic energy dice to do it again. I would do this all the time. I give this a solid 10 out of 10. It's a fantastic power, and well worth your psionic energy dice to boost your AC. Finally, at level 18, you get Telekinetic Master. This is an interesting one, because you gain a spell, the Telekinesis spell. That's a 5th level spell. Even the Eldritch Knight doesn't get magic that powerful. You can cast it once per day for free, or by spending a single psionic energy dice, which is bargain. And then you can concentrate on it for the full 10 minutes. I mean, it's not like you're using your concentration for anything else. And while you're concentrating on it, you get to attack with your weapons as your bonus action, which is pretty good. The telekinesis spell itself is pretty good. You can, against a strength save, you can push and restrain your enemies with your full action, or move objects that are huge and weigh up to 1,000 pounds. So, real good powers. The only problem is, again, this relies on your intelligence modifier. Hopefully, by this point as a fighter, you've spent some of those extra ability score increases to bump your intelligence as well as your attack and stamina stats. So, you should still be pretty good by level 18. I'm still giving this a 9 out of 10. Because you have to use your full action to control the telekinesis spell. It'd be nice if you could control it using the bonus action instead and attack with your action. Still, great power, 9 out of 10. And overall, the Psi Warrior is a 9 out of 10 subclass. They genuinely are pretty powerful. Battlefield movement, extra damage, reduced damage, resistance to damage, telekinesis, ending charm and fear. There's a lot of good things here that fighters don't normally get. And the Psi Warrior is a wonderful hodgepodge of powerful abilities, and I think they're well worth any fighter to try. I especially like the fact that these powers don't require you to make melee attacks. A ranged fighter could do this just as easily. But of course, most people will think of these guys as Jedi, so grab your sword, pretend it's a lightsaber, and go to town. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below, and keep your eyes peeled for more subclass reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.